Welcome. This is the Credit Fraud and Identity Theft webinar brought to you by Amy Barrios, Branch Manager. I'm here to talk to you about a problem that's affecting millions of Americans today. Celebrities including Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, and Tiger Woods have all been victims of identity theft. Did you know that victims can spend months or years and thousands of dollars in order to clean up the damage caused by identity theft and also to get their credit restored? Victims of identity theft can lose job opportunities, can be refused for insurance or housing and cars. They can even get arrested for a crime that they didn't commit. Today, we're going to learn some types of credit fraud and identity theft, some ways to prevent it, ways to detect it, and how to defend yourself if you become a victim. Two of the most common types of fraud are identity theft, also known as identity assumption, and also the fraudulent shopping spree. Identity theft is the unauthorized use of your personal information. This is where someone obtains your name, social security number, date of birth, and any other personal information and applies for credit or accounts in your name. The fraudulent shopping spree is also known as account takeover. This is where someone gets a hold of your existing account and begins to make unauthorized charges on it. Now we're going to learn about some sources of fraud. Have you ever wondered how these thieves get your personal information? One of the most common ways is through unlocked mailboxes. As we all know, most residential mailboxes don't contain a lock. Another way is for a thief to look over your shoulder to see your PIN number, and then later on, your purse or your wallet end up stolen. Also, skimming devices. We've been hearing more and more about skimming devices on the television these days. A skimming device is a device used to read the magnetic strip on the back of your card. It contains the card number and the PIN. Did you know that the back of your credit card was actually more important than the front? The skimming device is placed on the front side of the ATM or gas pump. It actually looks a lot like a regular card slot. It will record your information and then be removed later by the thief. They will then download your information from your card onto a laptop and they will sell it. This is how they make counterfeit cards. If you've ever wondered how fraud took place in another state and you've actually had the card with you the whole time, this is probably how they got your information. Another way that your information can be obtained is through dumpster divers. This is a person that goes through dumpsters or trash cans looking for information that was disposed of improperly. For example, let's say a healthcare facility went out of business and instead of shredding your healthcare records, they actually put them in the trash can on the street. Another source of fraud is not properly disposing of your receipts. You shouldn't just throw your receipt straight in the trash can. Also, people who have access to your personal information. An example of this would be a healthcare worker. Dishonest employees. Let's say there is an employee or local store who's accepting bribes to give out personal and private information about its clients. In-home workers. Anybody coming in or out of the home on a regular or not so regular basis. That could include babysitters, nurses, people that clean your home. Also roommates or family members that are staying with you. Did you know that 2/3 of thieves are family members? And also, there are many, many children that are victims of identity theft. Some other sources of fraud are phone solicitation scams, also known as phishing. This happens when you receive a call from an unknown source or a supposed known source, and the caller requests information from you, such as your credit card number or social security number. If you know you're not late on paying your bill, for example, then hang up and call the vendor at a phone number that you know to be correct instead. The next common source of fraud is through email. Email scams are known as phishing. Phishing occurs when you receive an email from what appears to be a legitimate site or familiar vendor. This email will request information from you that is personal, such as your social security number or a credit card number. For example, you get an email sent to you from what looks like your bank, and you're asked to provide them with personal information to update your records with them. If this happens, it is best to contact your financial institution directly to see if the email is really legitimate. Fraudulent websites, also known as pharming, is another type of fraud. The most important thing to remember about these is to be sure you have gone to the correct website that you're looking for. A .com versus a .net could steer you in the wrong direction and not be legitimate. Also, be wary of links associated with an email that you received that takes you to an unfamiliar place, especially if that link asks you to enter unnecessary personal information. Fraud can also occur if spyware gets installed on your computer.